Hello, great people. Tigran Gambaryan, the Binance executive that was released after the intervention of the US government over a $35 million money laundering fraud, made some revelations recently. And one of the people accused in that particular revelation is the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu. And he said that the National Security Advisor is complicit in the demand of $150 million bribe. You will recall that Tigran Gambaryan was arrested by the Nigerian government over money laundering charges and other financial crime, but he was released after the intervention of the US government. On this episode of Politics, with your short plug on politics and happenings in the polity, Dr. Omosholadeji, we'll be looking at the allegation of Gambaryan and the news flying all over the place that Nuhu Ribadu wants the job of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that Nuhu Ribadu wants to be president. Could that have been the case? And is it actualizable for Nuhu Ribadu? What is the implication of this revelation coming earlier at this point in time when 2027 is still far away and Bola Ahmed Tinubu is thinking of being the president of Nigeria till 2031? We'll be dissecting these issues and more on this episode of Politics. First, let us look at something, which is that, to my mind, I think that Nuhu Ribadu, as a special advisor or the National Security Advisor, should not be seen too much in the public domain as regards controversy. First, if you have presidential ambition, which I have asserted in my videos for my ardent viewers, they will know that I've said that presidential ambition is one thing that doesn't die quick. Presidential ambition is something that lives with you, that you carry to your grave, and there's something in you that will still want to be that president so long as you have dipped your legs inside the water. I made that assertion while analyzing the issue of Nyesom Wike, who contested and lost the primary primary ticket of the People's Democratic Party. So let us look at it. If Nuhu Ribadu wants to be president, he has also contested for president in the party led by Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I think that was ACN at that point in time. So if you look at it, if Bola Ahmed Tinubu could use him, then despite the fact that Bola Ahmed Tinubu was the main stakeholder of that particular party and it determines what goes on in that party, it calls the shot literally. Now, if Bola Ahmed Tinubu could use Nuhu Ribadu as a presidential candidate, that means that in 2031, if Bola Ahmed Tinubu is able to get a second term in 2027, he might as well decide to use Nuhu Ribadu. So it is not a much of false claim if you look at it from the surface that Nuhu Ribadu would have a presidential ambition, and it is not a crime to have a presidential ambition. Anybody can aspire to be president. If you think that the people loves you and you think that you have what it takes to become the president of Nigeria, and you have something to offer Nigerians, and you believe you are a sellable candidate, you that you are watching me can also decide that you want to aspire to be the president of Nigeria. It now depends on the people of Nigeria to either accept you or not. But then, if you are interested in becoming the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, you should not be seen involved in too much controversies, and that is where Nuhu Ribadu will begin to have serious problem, because recently he was at war with Malam Nasir El-Rufai, the former governor of Kaduna State. He was also in a verbal war with this Ajia Najatu Mohammed as regards the statement that Nuhu Ribadu made when Bola Ahmed Tinubu was governor of Lagos State between 1999 to 2007. And Nuhu Ribadu is saying he didn't make that statement, but the Ajia insisted with receipt that Nuhu Ribadu made that statement, and she has vowed that she's not going to apologize. Since then, we've not heard anything from Nuhu Ribadu. He hasn't taken any action as regards the woman failing to recant her statement. So if you look at these controversies, serial controversies coming back to back, and the revelations emanating from it, at the end of the day, Nuhu Ribadu's presidential ambition may end up dying with him, because before 2027 or even before 2031, Bola Ahmed Tinubu might decide to clip his wings by removing him. You know, if you are the National Security Advisor, you are holding a very strategic position because you interface with the security agencies every day. And one of the reasons why I said Nuhu Ribadu is strategic to be the president of Nigeria, if Bola Ahmed Tinubu wants to hand over to another person is that when Bola Ahmed Tinubu became the president, one of the first appointments that he made was that of Nuhu Ribadu. So you can see the closeness, you can see the love, you can see the intimacy that Bola Ahmed Tinubu shares with Nuhu Ribadu. But when these revelations begin to fly out and it's now involving the person of Bola Ahmed Tinubu himself, then the Tinubu boys who are closer to Nuhu Ribadu, who are closer to Tinubu than Nuhu Ribadu himself, then they will begin to convince Bola Ahmed Tinubu against Nuhu Ribadu. Now, the ones that, the strange allegation, the one that is now very staggering, is that of saying that Nuhu Ribadu is also complicit in the bribe. You will recall that Tigran Gambaryan said that Nuhu Ribadu wants that the 3 House of Representative member are demanding for 150 million US dollars as bribe. That is amounting to about 232 billion naira, over 232 billion naira. If you place the conversion rate at 1,550 naira, that would give you like over 232 billion naira. And they are the Tigran Gambaryan is alleging that Nuhu Ribadu needs this fund for his presidential ambition. Now, the problem with that is that while it is not wrong to have a presidential ambition, this is where Ribadu got it wrong. Number one, you as the national security advisor that you sought to uphold the constitution of Nigeria, you are allegedly aware that 3 House of Representative members are demanding for 150 million naira bribe. You didn't do anything to curb that humongous corruption, which is that you didn't alert the EFCC, ICPC, the relevant agencies, and advise them accordingly to take steps against such people. That itself shows inefficiency on your part as the national security advisor, because financial crimes also has its impact on the overall security of Nigeria itself. Now, another thing is that you if they are giving the $150 million bribe, which is about 232 billion naira, that shows that at the end of the day, you guys would have successfully sabotaged Nigeria just for the interest of the few, because 232 billion naira will go a long way in the life of the ordinary Nigerian. So if this guy have offered this money as bribe and it has gone into the pocket of few, then where does that leave Nigeria? So it shows the way politicians and people that are holding high political office in the land, how they are enriching themselves by poor means. And that's why you see some of these politicians that they are nobody. Examples will begin to come to your mind. I don't want to mention any name, but examples are bound that they are nobody, but because they've been able to rise, whether from local government chairman, and maybe at the end of the day they become state governors, and they become senators, ministers, influential people, that these people are now stupendously rich. And you want to begin to imagine that what business has this person done to make to warrant that this person is now stupendously rich. These are some of the things that it brings. But then, as much as Nuhu Ribadu has the right to contest and is one of the strategic candidates for the president Bola Ahmed Tinubu to use if he's leaving office, all these revelations that are coming out are reducing his chances. So Nuhu Ribadu needs to be very careful. It's not everything that you speak on. In fact, Nuhu Ribadu gave the accusation of Hajia Najatu Mohammed, he gave that accusation a life of his own, in the sense that when Hajia Najatu Mohammed made that revelation, if Nuhu Ribadu have not responded, that is, if he knows that he did or said something relating to that, if he had not responded, definitely the media would not have picked interest in it. But because Nuhu Ribadu activated his lawyers to warn Hajia Najatu Mohammed, then the media began to gain interest in it, and it began to be a matter of public knowledge. So Nuhu Ribadu should be very careful, knowing his antecedent as the former chairman of EFCC, that people will naturally come for him. There are some people that he moved against at that point in time that they will come for him. So if he has presidential ambition, he needs to be very careful in all his dealings, else his presidential ambition may even end up in disgrace or become an eventual nullity. So rather than make him president, it may even be Bola Ahmed Tinubu that will now finish him totally and completely. What happens to this former Inspector General of Police? I think it was Tafa Balogun, that is served under Obasanjo, and it was the same government that disgraced him. So government can make you, government can also mar you. So this is a wake-up call for Nuhu Ribadu to be very, very careful. It is not everybody that has opportunity to be the national security advisor. It's a very strategic position. As a national security advisor, you are powerful than a minister because you are relating with the security agency, you are interfacing with the security agency. So on a normal ground, when things are happening, conventional or non-conventional warfare, you are powerful. During the election, that the security agencies are involved, you are still powerful. So that means you are powerful all year round. That kind of position, you need strategy, you need wisdom, you need to be seen to be working, not to be seen to be involved in controversies here and there. Else, Bola Ahmed Tinubu himself will be the one to deal with you. But as I usually say, may the best happen for Nigeria now and always. Whatever will bring Nigeria disrepute and shame should never happen to Nigeria at any point in time in terms of leadership and governance. It's been an interesting time with you on this episode of Politing with Dr. Omosoladeji. Do want to subscribe, turn on your notification button, catch up with my past videos, and of course I have great interesting videos coming your way. Till I see you again, always remember that I love you all sincerely.